Panama Metropolis, the nation's capital and largest city, boasts the national and provincial capital. It is Central America's most modern city. The Dubai of Latin America describes its modernity. Luxury resorts, shopping centers, and skyscrapers ring the city. New Yorkers like taxis. Most city dwellers walk less than a half mile. Casco Viejo's cobblestone streets and colonial buildings are better for walking. The Panamanian jungle is encroaching on Panama City's stunning views. Skydiving, climbing the Bridge of the Americas for a breathtaking view of the city, or biking to the 4 islands along the Amador Causeway are great ways to see the Panama Canal, the city's main attraction. Like this video and subscribe to our channel before starting this video. In today's video, we'll talk about top 10 places to visit in Panama City. So, let's start our video. Number 10. Panama Rainforest Discovery Center. The Rainforest Discovery Center, located less than an hour from Panama City, is a terrific family adventure or fun place for anybody who wants to enjoy nature without starting on a lengthy walk. Climbing the 100-foot observation tower to observe the many levels of the forest canopy is one of the primary things to do here. The tower is accessible through a 1.1-kilometer hiking track that also descends down to Lake Calamito and provides many opportunities to see the numerous animals. Sloths, monkeys, coatis, toucans, and a variety of other birds are among the common visitors. Watching the hummingbirds arrive and depart from the feeders is another joy. Because there are few facilities here, bring your own lunch or snacks. Number 9. Biomuseo Museum of Biodiversity at Panama. When looking out at the ocean from the old city or your high-rise hotel room, you may spot a colorful structure out in the distance at the canal's entrance. The Biomuseo is located here. This oddly shaped structure, designed by the renowned architect Frank Gehry, is located on the Amador Causeway and is surrounded by walking and bike paths. Inside, 8 galleries depict Panama's natural and cultural heritage. There are free guides available who would gladly tour you around and answer any questions you may have. Number 8. Panama Canal Museum, Casco Viejo. The Panama Canal Museum is housed in a beautifully renovated 1874 structure that was originally Panama City's principal post office. It lies on Plaza de la Independencia in Casco Viejo and is readily accessible as part of a tour of the old town. Fascinating exhibits trace the development of the canal across time, starting with French initiatives that were ultimately abandoned and continuing through the United States completion and eventual restoration of the canal to the Panamanian government. Number 7. Paseo de las Povedas and Plaza de Francia, Casco Viejo. For souvenir shopping, go to Paseo de las Povedas or Esteban Huertas, often known as Lover's Lane. This path along the historic waterfront at the southern end of Casco Viejo is lined with various tables of merchants offering unique products ranging from license plates to indigenous artwork and crafts. This location, which is covered with bougainvillea and located along the seashore, is a nice reprieve from the sun and heat of the interior streets. It is also an excellent spot to photograph the gleaming glass buildings of downtown Panama City farther down the coast. Continue strolling past the merchants until you reach Plaza de Francia, a tiny park and monument commemorating Panama's historical link with France. Number 6. Iglesia y Convento de Santo Domingo, Casco Viejo. Iglesia y Convento of Santo Domingo is another of Casco Viejo's few genuine ruins, but it seems to be more intact than Iglesia y Convento de la Compañía de Jesus. This well-preserved site is made up of walls and arches, featuring a one-of-a-kind flat arch, Arco Chato, that was purportedly erected to aid with acoustics. The Museo de Arte Religioso Colonial, located on the same grounds as the ruins, has a collection of 16th-century artwork. In the evening, the restaurant across the street puts up tables and chairs in front of the ruins, making the location a great place to stop and take in the beauty. Number 5. Iglesia y Convento de la Compañía de Jesus, Casco Viejo. Only the soaring walls and arches of this 1741 monastery and church remain. Nonetheless, It is a prominent landmark and one of the most striking and photographed sites in the Old Town. The location is a peaceful haven away from the city, and the walls and nooks give some relief from Panama's harsh sun and heat. Floodlights illuminate the building at night, providing a stunning scene. Look attentively at the walls to observe a variety of marine shells collected from the nearby waterways. The Iglesia y Convento de la Compañía de Jesus is located immediately southwest of Plaza de la Independencia. Number 4. Plaza de la Independencia and Cathedral Metropolitana, Casco Viejo. If you go through the ancient city, you will eventually get to the Plaza de la Independencia. The park, also known as Plaza Mayor or Plaza de la Cathedral, commemorates Panama's Declaration of Independence from Colombia in November 1903. The majestic Cathedral Metropolitana, which dates from 1688 and houses the Archdiocese of Panama, stands on one side of the square. There are seats under enormous trees and a gorgeous white octagonal shelter in the plaza's mill, where people gather to rest and converse. It is also useful for unexpected downpours. Because the streets are broad, unlike other districts of the old city, the plaza is a good site to be dropped off or picked up by taxi or Uber. The premium Central Hotel Panama is located on one of the park's boundaries. Staying here puts you in the center of the activity while also providing a wonderful getaway at the end of a hard day of touring. Number 3. Historic Panama Viejos. Panama Viejos is the ancient location of the city when it was established in 1519. This historical site is worth the effort to see and is located approximately a 15 to 20-minute drive out of town near Tocumen International Airport. The 14 surviving ruins are spaced out across a 1.5-kilometer stretch of land. The Museo de Sitio Panama Viejos is a great spot to start your tour since it has a scale replica of the remains so you can get a sense of what was previously on the site. The churches, especially the Cathedral de Nuestra Señora de la Asunción, which dates from 1619, the Iglesia y Convento de San Francisco, and the Iglesia de San Jose, which is notable for its vaulted side chapels, are the finest historical monuments. Other notable sites include the Puente del Rey, a 1617 bridge that is said to be the oldest in the Americas, and Casa Alarcón, a 1640s private mansion that is regarded one of the finest maintained in the country. Number 2. Historic Streets of Casco Viejos, Old Town. Casco Viejos, or Old Town, is Panama City's most attractive neighborhood. It was established in 1671, 7 kilometers along the coast, after the ancient city was devastated by the pirate Captain Morgan. While the ancient town is a combination of old ruins and not quite as old architecture, there are some beautiful structures dating from the late 17th century. Casco Viejos was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2003, and it has since transformed from a former urban slum to the city's main attraction. Visitors come here now to walk the small alleyways, buy, and take photographs of this medieval sanctuary. Casco Viejos is rather tiny, surrounded on 3 sides by water, and the major attractions are readily accessible on foot. The imposing Iglesia y Convento de la Compañía de Jesus, the Iglesia y Convento de Santo Domingo with its distinctive arch, and the Paseo de las Povedas are among the must-see sites. The latter is one of the greatest spots to go for views of the contemporary city, and it is also a nice site to go shopping for gifts. This section of Panama City comes alive at night, once the heat of the day has subsided. Step out into the steamy evening air to dine beneath the lights of an old ruin and enjoy a little nightlife. Lesseps Bistro Café is a reliable French restaurant in the old city that serves lunch and supper. Number 1. Panama Canal. A trip to Panama City would be incomplete without witnessing the world-famous Panama Canal. You may either take a boat trip down the canal or watch the locks from a viewing platform on land, depending on your level of interest and time constraints. If you merely want to see the locks, go to the Miraflores Visitor Center, which has a museum, various observation platforms over the Miraflores locks, and a cafe with the same spectacular view. There is also an IMAX cinema on the site, separate admission fee. Arrive between 9 and 11 a.m. or 3 and 5 p.m. when the ships often cross the locks. Give it a thumbs up if you find this video useful and informative. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell for upcoming future alerts. See you in the next video.